If you're over 35 and still struggling with money, it's time to face a harsh reality. The problem isn't your job, the economy, or bad luck. The problem is your mindset and the financial mistakes you keep making without even realizing it. I know that might be hard to hear, but if you don't recognize what's holding you back, you'll be stuck in the same cycle of financial stress for the rest of your life. Most people will never build wealth. Not because they don't have the ability, but because they don't understand what's truly keeping them broke. They work hard, they try to save, they do what they think is right, yet, somehow, their bank account never seems to grow. But today, I'm going to expose the real reasons why you're still struggling financially, and more importantly, I'm going to give you a step-by-step plan to turn things around. So pay close attention, because what I'm about to share could completely change your financial future. The first reason you're still broke is because you're spending money like you're rich, even though you're not. It's an uncomfortable truth, but most people sabotage their financial future by trying to keep up an image they can't afford. You might think, I don't waste money, but take a moment to really analyze where your paycheck is going. How often do you eat out instead of cooking at home? How much do you spend on things like subscriptions, online shopping, or the latest tech gadgets? Do you upgrade your car or your house every time you get a raise? This is called lifestyle inflation, and it's the #1 reason why so many people, even high earners, still end up broke. You make more money, but instead of saving or investing, you increase your expenses. You convince yourself that you deserve the nicer things because you work hard. But real wealth isn't about how much money you make, it's about how much you keep. Think about this. The average millionaire doesn't live in a mansion or drive a brand new luxury car. In fact, studies show that most self-made millionaires drive used cars, live in modest homes, and spend far less than they earn. That's because they understand one critical rule. If you want to be rich, you have to live below your means, not at or above them. So how do you fix this? The first step is to control your spending. Set a hard rule for yourself. At least 30% of your income should go towards savings and investments before you even think about spending on lifestyle upgrades. Automate your savings so you don't even see that money in your checking account. And the next time you're tempted to buy something expensive, ask yourself, is this really making me richer or is it just making me look rich? The second reason you're still broke is because you believe working harder will make you wealthy. You think that if you just put in more hours, take on more responsibilities, or even get a second job, you'll eventually have enough money to be financially secure. But here's the brutal truth. If working harder was the key to getting rich, then construction workers, teachers, and janitors would all be millionaires. The reality is working hard alone will never make you wealthy. Why? Because if your only source of income is your paycheck, then your earning potential is limited by the number of hours in a day. You can only work so much before you burn out, and even if you do get a raise, most of it will go straight to taxes and increased expenses. So what do the wealthy do differently? They don't just work for money, they make money work for them. They invest in assets that generate income, even when they're not working. These assets can be stocks, rental properties, online businesses, or even side hustles that generate passive income. The goal is to build multiple streams of income, so that you're not dependent on just one paycheck. If you want to stop living paycheck to paycheck, you need to start thinking like an investor, not just a worker. Even if you start small, put some of your money into investments that can grow over time. The earlier you start, the less you have to invest to build wealth. The third reason you're still broke is because you're drowning in debt. And I'm not just talking about credit cards, I'm talking about student loans, car loans, personal loans, and any other debt that takes money out of your pocket every single month. Here's the harsh truth. As long as you have debt, you are working for the banks, not for yourself. Every dollar you pay in interest is a dollar you could have been using to invest, save, or improve your life. But instead, it's going straight into someone else's pocket. Most people think they're managing their debt because they make their minimum payments on time. But making minimum payments is a trap. It keeps you in debt for decades while the banks collect thousands of dollars in interest from you. So how do you escape? The first step is to stop taking on new debt. If you can't afford to pay for something in cash, you can't afford it, period. The second step is to aggressively pay off your existing debt using either the snowball method. Start by paying off your smallest debts first to build momentum and motivation. The avalanche method. Pay off debts with the highest interest rates first, which saves you the most money in the long run. Whichever method you choose, the key is to attack your debt as if your financial future depends on it, because it does. Imagine how much freer you'll feel when you're no longer paying hundreds or thousands of dollars every month to creditors. That's money you could be using to build real wealth. Finally, the biggest reason you're still broke is because you're not investing. Most people think investing is risky. They think it's complicated, so they do nothing. And that's the biggest mistake of all, because here's the truth. If you're not investing, you're actually losing money every single day. Inflation is eating away at your savings, making your money worth less over time, and you're missing out on the power of compound interest, the only guaranteed way to turn small amounts of money into real wealth. Here's what you need to do. Open an investment account today. Even if you start with just $50 a month, the key is to start now. Invest in index funds, ETFs, or dividend stocks, things that grow over time. The earlier you start investing, the more your money can compound, and the less you'll need to save overall. Gap 3S. Now that you understand the importance of investing and avoiding debt, let's talk about something equally crucial: building a financial safety net. Why is this important? Because life is unpredictable. Unexpected expenses like medical emergencies, car repairs, or even job loss can happen to anyone at any time. Without a safety net, these events can derail your financial progress and plunge you back into debt. So how do you build a financial safety net? The first step is to create an emergency fund. This fund should cover at least 3 to 6 months' worth of living expenses. Keep this money in a high-yield savings account where it's easily accessible but still earning some interest. The second step is to have adequate insurance. Health insurance, auto insurance, and even renters or homeowners insurance can protect you from financial ruin in case of unexpected events. Make sure you're adequately covered and review your policies annually to adjust as needed. Lastly, consider diversifying your income streams. Relying solely on one source of income is risky. Look for side hustles or freelance opportunities that can bring in extra cash. This not only boosts your income but also provides a cushion in case your primary job is affected. By building a financial safety net, you're not just protecting yourself from unforeseen events, you're also giving yourself peace of mind. This allows you to focus more on growing your wealth rather than constantly worrying about financial setbacks. Remember, the goal isn't just to get rich, it's to stay rich. And the best way to do that is by being prepared for whatever life throws your way. At the end of the day, wealth isn't built by luck. It's built by making smart financial decisions consistently over time. If you're tired of being broke, you need to take action now. Cut your unnecessary expenses. Stop trying to impress people. Get out of debt as fast as possible. And start investing in your future. If you do these things, you will completely transform your financial life. Now, I want to hear from you. What's the biggest money mistake you've ever made? Drop a comment below. I want to hear your stories. And if you're serious about fixing your finances, make sure to watch this next video, where I reveal the #1 skill that makes people rich.